This is Yosef Bruer here at the GESL with Golden Light for ESFIworld.com. You've had a very good run through the open bracket at MLG Spring Championship last weekend, beating Inser, LZ Gamer, Complexity Killer, and Select to make it all the way out of the open bracket into the championship bracket. Do you feel that the momentum from that tournament has carried over to this weekend?
He was doing really well in the other tournament, but unfortunately he lost to Alive. And so because of that, he practiced really hard and he thought, I'm going to do really well in this tournament. So yes, he does think that there is a connection with the other tournament in this one.
연습에 정말 집중을 했고 이번 대회에서도 좋은 성적 거두려고 노력하고 있어요.
What do you think about the tournament so far? Have you had enough time to warm up and practice before your matches earlier with some of the complications?
He's been practicing for actually over a week, even before coming to the school. He thinks he actually likes playing against Terrans, so if he can play with more Terrans in the upcoming matches, then he thinks he can do really well in this tournament.
Well, you're currently 3-0 in your group, beating Inser, Machine, and Mystic. You played Inser at MLG Spring Championship in Open Winners Round 2 and beat him. But how did you feel going to your match against both Machine and Mystic?
He was really worried because he knew that those players are really good players, but he studied and researched those players and also researched ZVZ and practiced different strategies, so he was able to do well.
선수들에 대해 많이 연구했고 또 저그 대 저그전을 많이 연습을 해가지고 이길 수 있었던 것 같아요.
Well, you're in Group A with MVP Monster, Rain and Nori, EG Machine, Check 6 Mystic, and Infinity 7's Inser. Is there anyone in that group that you're too worried about?
Because he's most worried about CBZ, he's a bit worried to go against Monster.
Well, how do you feel about having this event right after MLG? Is it better for you to have one tournament after another, or do you enjoy breaks?
토너먼트 뒤에
Yeah, he
일주일
thinks
정도
having
기간이
breaks is definitely
있었는데
better.
한 3일 정도는 연습하고 3일 정도는 푹 쉬었던 것 같아요.
Yeah.
Do you feel that you can place top 3 or even win this event?
He says yes, if I
충분히 가능한 얘기라고
go
생각해요.
against Terrans, then he thinks it's possible.
Well, you were here with two of your teammates, Caliber and Kauai. How does it feel to have your team with you at the last two events? And does it help you and give you a little bit of a fun competition between each other to see who can place higher or anything like that?
He says he's friends with all of his teammates. They don't really have like a competition or anything, but it definitely helps having them in the tournament because when they're stressed out, they talk to each other and they help relieve each other's stress.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Team Light. You joined Light in January. How was your transition from a Korean team to an international one?
When he was in Korea, he said he couldn't really focus on his personal life, but after he moved to America, he gets to travel, he gets to learn different things and experience new things, so he likes that better.
이리저리 해외에도 돌아다니고 또 여러 가지 경험을 하니까 저는 이게 더 좋아요.
What's the biggest difference playing on an international team as opposed to a Korean team, and like what are some of the advantages and disadvantages?
우선 해외 팀에
He
있으면
said
연습 상대가 많이
it's
적어요.
when he was in Korea, he was able to practice more, like with his teammates, but it's harder to practice because his teammates and he has a different time zone, so it's just harder to practice in general. So he liked it better in terms of practicing when he was in Korea.
수월합니다.
Well, what is it about Team Light in particular that made it a good fit for you?
제가 처음에
He said
미국에 왔을 때
Team Light was very
처음에
considerate.
걱정이 많이
They knew that
많았어요.
he couldn't really speak English, so he would help him out wherever they can with food or with just communication. They were really helpful.
지금은 문제가 없다고 생각돼요.
Well, thank you very much for the interview. Did you want to give any shout-outs or anything?
He says thank you to his fans and he's going to try harder.
더 좋은 성적 낼수 있도록
Thank you.
노력하겠습니다.